Hello and welcome. We're picking up where we left off last time in Victoria 3 in Great Qing. In this second run, trying to see how quickly we can get the Great Qing GDP up and how high we can get it. This is the second one, 1.8.7, trying to get one last run done before the next major patch comes out. Which I was actually wrong, I think the last couple of times I've been talking about it. I was thinking it was Thursday, and it's actually Tuesday, which is tomorrow. So we're gonna have to rush to get this a little bit done. In the previous run, one of the things I think I screwed up is we swapped over to proportional taxation far too early. There is a point where you definitely want to do it, and we've hit that point, which is part of the reason we swapped. But in the previous run, we swapped over a little too early, and that had consequences. It delayed a lot of the growth, because we just didn't have the income to support the growth. Next couple laws and the run-wise, picking up telephones. We're going to do telephones into central planning, do telephone switchboards, and then we're probably going to come back around and do radio and get that implemented. Once radio's in, got a couple other techs we can probably pick up that would be worthwhile in the production one, like electric arc welding to electrify steel making. Mechanized slaughterhouses, I think, is steel, is electricity as well. Increase the meat production. No, it doesn't want to stay. It's particularly annoying, is it? Oh, no, that's not steel. That's just cool. Okay, well, we probably still want to pick that up anyway. Pneumatic tools has some more resource discovery chance, some construction sector throughput as well. So we definitely got a couple interesting techs that should help with the GDP profile. In the meantime, the next thing we probably want to work from a construction queue standpoint is what haven't we electrified? Is maybe a good way to think about it. I don't think we've electrified the lumber industry. We just finished electrifying the rail industry. So we haven't electrified the lumber industry, and we can electrify no, it's actually top here. Electrify the urban centers as well. Which will increase the amount of increase the amount of services at the cost of electricity. Right now here it's expecting that we're going to lose some transport. That's mainly because it's going to change up the labor, so we're going to basically have 285 less laborers, and not have the engineers, or the whole supply is going to go down a little bit. And then it may stay down because the building is expected to be non-productive. Let's start off by just swapping all the light posts. So we can do that pretty easily. We come down here, we click that. We went ahead and basically put electric industries everywhere. So now what we need to do is we'll let a week, actually just let 2 weeks cycle. And then we gotta come through in the market. And what we'll do is any place where we've got a big negative balance, we queue up enough electrical plants to power that. So for here at Shangxi, we're currently on the renewable sort of hydroelectric power plant. That provides about 50 per power plant level. So we need about 32 here, additional ones. That's 83, well, 800. So 16, say 17. Oops. 15, and that includes what's ever in the queue. So we're gonna push the queue out so we got enough in the queue. And not worry too much about it. We have a little bit of negative bureaucracy. That will be fine. I think we will go ahead and queue up a couple admin buildings, but we're mostly going to ignore that until we get the next two techs. Okay. And of course, this is showing us supply versus demand of the entire market. Not just our stuff. So we can see some of the ones down here like, oh, we got like -12 and it's got like 75% demand. But this is this is one of our subjects. So they don't have enough electricity demand to warrant building up the electricity. Okay, sorry about that. Had a scam caller, I think, trying to call me. Hello, Twitch chat. Hope you're enjoying. Yeah, we're continuing a China run in 1.8.7, so we have something to baseline compare it to in 1.9 when 1.9 comes out tomorrow. Though we might not get around to running it immediately tomorrow. I think at this point everything should still be, the earlier VODs should still be up on Twitch, if you want to see how we got started. But at this point we're getting pretty close to the end. We got something like 30 years left. I suppose actually that was what we were missing from swapping the fleet over. Let's do the fleet swap. I have the fleets on steel holes, alright. That was an oops if that's the case. Because I haven't transitioned the Navy. How are we supplying our boats? Apparently we still got enough wooden boats, okay. So you can upgrade to light ships, capital ships. To those. We'll rebuild it if we need better boats. So there's a potential I wasn't necessarily making most of my boats. The subjects were instead. Okay. Well, I hope you enjoy. Okay, that's the telephone. Telephone we're going to solve with central planning. Wants to build up, well, improve our government administration. Okay, we got the Doctrine of Iron Steam because we can the transition. This one probably should go naval prestige for the moment. Unionized leverage. Bonus to enactment chance. Some paper. Let's actually delay the paper a little bit. So I say delayed so we can get the power plants going. We're gonna get the power plants going, so we'll just let it go. Do you think China needs farm? I think, well, that is something we could probably expand, is the farms. Yeah, the game's been, this isn't the first stream, I think this is the 7th stream? This is the 7th save. Lost track of how many parts. We've been running it for a while. We're getting pretty close to the end of the game at this point. So we're trying to, got 30 years to sort of maximize the GDP growth here in China. That's one thing I haven't looked at. The government. Scholar official, who's... Oh, that'll be an interesting swap. We get a market liberal literati when they, on exchange. Waiting for the power plants to build. Could use a little bit more rubber. Stack on a little bit of rubber on the queue then. Tongan's a good choice. Sud Cameroon would be good if they were in our market, but they're in the French one. Looks like the French also need some rubber. I'm not going to build the French the rubber for them. Those places will work. Let's go start with the rubber. Don't like croissants. Yeah, well, we're going to be dragging Persia along with us into greatness. We've subjugated them and Iraq. We're gonna make Siam a puppet. Oops, Vector hunting the world. Which apparently is something we get to ignore because I went heavy on the police. Let's do there, expansion in government admin. Oman. Okay, we can work with Oman. Wait, is that all that's left of Oman? I want to have a really bad day. Zanzibar's free, and yeah, well, that's all that's left in Oman. Okay. Let's see. Not quite there with New Granada. Doesn't look like it's growing either. We take on the net, but we're not going to. There's central planning. That's going to help out a lot. Back into production. The electric arc furnaces while we're... I don't radio next. Okay, so now we really want to start making those telephones. How many telephones do we want? 2,500 telephones. Make 60 pop. It's about 40 electric industries. do something like that. It looks like it's going negative because there's some demand for telephones already, but I'm way overbuilding the demand. But that's also because I'm about to swap the whole government admin over, and that's going to take a lot of telephones. This is China after all. Everything's in the queue already. Interesting. Power to those telephone factories, in theory, take. Okay, the telephones don't actually take any power yet. So the next thing we're going to be electrifying is... So we're moving on to next. While working on the telephones. The logging camps. Electric sawmills. We'll let it cycle for 2 weeks. We'll let it cycle for 1 week. And then we can come to this and we can see where we got all the deficit from electrifying the lumber industry. And we queue up the power plants to make them work. And like so, that should be all the power we need. So that's built. And that crashed the price of wood, which is fine. Regulatory party, sure. We'll say we're doing that next. Okay, well, the electric industries here, at least the ones that are in the queue, get complete, and then we'll swap over pretty much the entire government bureaucracy in one fell swoop. And then apparently we need to have a whole lot more to consume our taxes. It's 100 more construction sectors. Oh, I have space for more taxation. Well, I suppose we could use it for taxation. We're not going to do it for that. We're going to use it greener grass campaign out in the boonies to try to get people to move to the gold fields. Oop, one of our subjects is having a civil war. And playing a red banner after them. And like that, we should have... Well, shortly we'll have enough telephones. So, Governor Admin, telephone switchboards. I suppose at this point I have access to the French market, yes. I think that's the French market I have access to with Volta there. You're in France, right? French Sentinel. Okay. So with that, let's set up an import for rubber. From... Would be 0. Would be 0 right now. Okay. Well, then we're going to have to build the rubber plantations in France so we can buy it from the French. We'll just own the entire French farmer industry. It'll be fine. Okay, we got a little bit too much saved up, so let's push the construction sectors to the top. In the meantime, we got the government bureaucracy to deck you up, or move you up, move you up. We're gonna want more government bureaucracy, but that's at least a start in government bureaucracy. You know, we'll take the government construction 3 anyway. Don't think we really need it right now, but... Oh, we don't even have the corporation slot to fill with, so... Do you hear that, too? Yeah, we'll take the speed buff to radio. Yeah, could use more telephones, but that's fine. How goes hiring up the telephone factories? Fully hired up, okay. So if we do want to do that, we're going to need more telephone makers to do radios. And, well, to a certain extent, more government as well. No, we need the rubber rallies to go down as well. Everything needs to go down. Another declared interest. Here, let's pick up the next thing we're going to electrify. Yeah. We'll wait a couple more weeks. You should be able to start importing rubber from the French. Okay, that should be able to import rubber from the French. The French are ready to sell. Oh, well, apparently there's no demand for the French. I do still want to import from them, but... Pretty sure we built up the French market. Surprised it isn't built up then. Or is the French market just because the British are being cut off? No, they should have access to that area. Another rebellion, the rebels down. I think they're having problems starting their industry up for whatever reason. It'd be fixed if I could import it from them, but I'm apparently not allowed to until they have some for me to import. Run other things and build in the queue. I think we got all the domestic lead made. Oh, we probably don't have all the domestic iron made though. Let's do the domestic iron. We want about 80 each. 1,000 shorts. We want 13 something. No, 130 something. Let's see if I can do my numbers right. Well, that's maybe a problem. Starting to run low on peasants in places that don't have. Down to 15,000 peasants in Yunnan? What? Yeah, we're down to 15,000 peasants in Yunnan. Okay. Certainly don't run out of workers there. We're gonna have to start enacting some labor-saving PMs, looks like. Actually, take that away. Here. Okay. Okay, let's build up the government administration a little bit. Try to get rid of the tax shortage. 30 taxation capacity. Start off with like 20 in some of these places. Which will be just short of, well, just over 600. 20 there, 20 there, 20 there. Okay. Yeah, we got a lot of employed, we got a lot of peasants. They're not necessarily where we need them. For example, we got places like Yunnan, they're a little short on peasants. Oh, well, it's short on peasants because it's basically got no... We've shrunk this rice farm quite a bit. And it's growing. I don't know, I suppose we can free up a bunch by doing the labor-saving PMs on the plantations. There's elevators. Aids for urban centers. Oh, that adds more electrical demand. Interesting. Let's go ahead and queue that up then. Swap over to that. And then we'll cycle 2 weeks and adjust for the new electrical demand in the queue. Then we'll go push those to the top. Yeah, probably actually worth cutting some taxes. We can do some encouraging people to move around. So we know Yunnan has a lot of growth potential that we haven't tapped into resource-wise, and it's starting to run low on peasants. You're low on peasants and have gold mines, so there's a bunch of resource potential in these areas as well. Anyway, try and move some guys into those areas. So industries could, like, the power plant can backfill. Can we import that rubber yet from the French? Or do we just build a bunch of French lumber makers that the French can't use? Nope, not even the French still can import rubber from the French. They literally built rubber in their market, and the rubber price is still over the moon. Okay. Or are they having a war in the middle of the rubber plantation zone? They might have a war in the middle of the rubber plantation zone. Okay. Well, we'll just make do without it then. You're in the German market. Okay. Okay, we worked out we need more. Thought we need the rubber down a little bit more before we expanded the radio production. Yeah, we need a lot more radios. So there are like 50 electric plants. Electric plants, yeah. Oh, we can already see the civilians factor is like, yep, nope, Mandalay is a good place to build it. We want more Mandalay. Not going to build any more Mandalay because they're already at the point where they're just like, yeah, we're going to hire everyone left in the country, in the state. She's not bad. Dong won't be bad. Guangxi. Shandong. Yeah, these ones. Electric arc pressing. So we're going to want to enable that as well. Yeah, let's take nitrogen fixation. Do nitrogen fixation. We'll take the dash down to compression ignition. Also gives more out of the places like the lead mines and such. And then if we look at diplomacy, what's the probability that we can get Persia to just become one? The Greater China? 55%. Offer it. They say no. Okay, well, we will use the Great Chinese Army to maximum effect. Oh, down to the point we need more buildings. We're making way too much money. Keep like another 100 construction sectors. Oh, we picked up a tech that allows us to put in 5 everywhere. Let's do that first. Some more railways. Oh, I suppose we could revisit the no administration, application capacity stuff. Like 10, all those, 5 there, 4 there, 4 there, 3, 2, 2. I feel like I need more telephones, to be fair. So we're going to have more rubber problems. Well, we're not exactly having rubber problems. We need more rubber because we're going to want more telephones. It's going to require us having more rubber. There we go. Those new construct sectors were finally starting to pull into the 100-something million gold reserve that we have. For a couple weeks. Okay. I think the telephones are still expanding before I go ahead and... Well, we're still building them, right? So let's assume I need more right away. Where to spend the construction? Well, paper isn't the worst place to be thinking of. Happily toss down another 30 paper makers. Like 5 clothes makers. And food makers. Grow the farms a little bit. We're going to hold off on that. Suppose we can start tentatively swapping over to cars. No, but that's more rubber. Because of course we need rubber too. Where's the untapped oil reserves? Build that out, build that out. Once Persia's brought into the proper country, we can probably start to develop Persian oil reserves a little bit better. Raising in socialism. We'll be trying for all Great Qing. I need more stuff to build. Bean farms wouldn't be too bad. Queue up, what's the raise farms? Well, that's assuming that they're about that balance. 60, so 100 is 6,000, so 200 farms? Yeah, and one of the reasons we're trying to pass old age pensions is to actually boost consumer demand, so we got stuff to make. Interesting. Annoying, but interesting. A civil war in the middle of the annexation of Persia. Wouldn't only let me add one war goal, because of course it did. Okay, well, we got most of Persia. We'll have to go take over the Iraq space in another war. Or not Iraq, Afghanistan space in another war. And then, of course, we inherited all their trade routes. We'll probably use more ports, looking at the convoy shortage. We're not going to take much off of there because we lost the original Persian war goal, which was an annexation war goal. So I think it's a little annoying in that form. Oops. Let's just be arcs. There's one place that can't be an arc, can they? No, we don't have arc welding. They're now on steel. Okay, there's one place where they're on not steel. Okay. I'm confusing myself. So we finished the law pass. Did the law break? Law did pass, okay. So we'll try regulatory bodies. And old age pensions go to max. Okay, so there's one thing we can start doing. We'll let the build queue build down a little bit, but we'll start the transition over to things like steam donkeys, all the mines. So we'll swap to say that, and we'll swap to rail transport. getting in that sort of awkward phase where GDP increasing is being more limited by getting civilian demand up, which, to be fair, the welfare should help with. Actually, electrical power plant throughput sounds like a good idea. Okay, so with that, Persia should be electrified in 4. Pretty much electrified in 4. Let's see. Yeah, we'd probably tolerate transferring another one over. Automobile production. And yeah, let's, so that will make us need more engines, but let's start pushing some labor-saving PMs. Okay, there's probably someplace, probably like a 1 textile mill there. Same sort of thing with the urban center. There's probably just a couple places that won't swap, because we don't quite have the electricity where we want it in Persia. So if the Persian places are using the rail transport, we'll leave them on rail transport, because that's kind of the change we're doing right now. Okay. I think I have the engines to support it, so all you get on those steam donkeys. Do I think I have that oil? 1.6, 1.7. Currently have that oil, so we'll swap you to chainsaws. We might swap back, but for the moment you can be on chainsaws. Chemical fertilizers. Well, that's a good question. Do I have... Probably have, because we had plenty of oil. We've got all of Persia right now we're developing, right? So, swap you over. And then you can all go to chemical fertilizers. Oil up. Grain down. Need something else to build. We're still out of rubber to build. We'll have to go build in 4 countries and try to import it, but we can do that. And then come back to import, and we do want more rubber, so every place where rubber is in theory... And there we go! The French are now willing to export rubber, so we'll buy the French rubber. We have nitrogen fixation, so we'll do compression, ignition, get the mines working a lot better. How many radios go poof when I swap over to having... Or how many telephones do we lose when we swap over to radios? About 30k. So that means we probably support another 50, 80, another 80 electric industries. Domestically, please. Stop the railroads at the beginning. And let's view electrical demand. So you're short 2.8 thousand electrical demand. So that's another 50 would be 2,500, 55, 56. Yeah, 56 here as well. Or 36 here as well. 16. 17. That's a 16. That's about 15. 15, 12, 11, 10. Okay. Social Security hit level 2. That should help again with a little bit more consumer demand. As the unemployed now consume more stuff. Yeah, you can see the public health care and the welfare starting to kick in there with the standard of living just shooting straight up. Looking at the time, I should go ahead and put a part break in here. So if you're watching on YouTube, there will be another part up. I'm going to try to record at least 2 more parts today before I take the break for dinner. So if you're watching on Twitch, you want to see more, feel free to hang around. I'm going to go take a moment to drink a little bit of water and figure out if I want to make some tea. The break will be a little bit on the shorter side if I don't make the tea, and it'll be a little bit longer if I have to make the tea. So until the next bit, wish you all the best of luck and a good time. I'm not going to bring the stream down or anything. I'm just going to basically pause the YouTube recording, and then I'll be right back. So until next time, wish you all a good time, good luck, and bye for now.